Well, they say the Virginia is a littoral class sub as well as a deep sea sub, so it shouldn't be able to go through 100 feet of water.
Yeah, but the Jimmy Carter is a Seawolf, isn't it?
Oh, she is a Seawolf. For some reason, I keep thinking she was a Virginia.
Yeah. Even the Virginia though, it's got because there's a point on the forums a couple yesterday, I think, and on that, and I checked her draft is 11.5 meters or 9.5 meters, which is 32 feet. You add the conning tower and the periscope on there. Yeah, you're poking above the water quite a bit.
Yeah, that is not. I can't say I've ever seen an SSN in person, but yeah, that's I've seen multiple carriers multiple times, and it's like everything compared to that is small, and then you still see a sub, and like you said, that's still a you know 75-foot tall submarine.
Yeah, yeah. It's I've only seen SSN once. I've seen SSKs quite often, but yeah, they're SSKs can be pretty small, but the Los Angeles class SSNs are not small.
Yeah, my mom was actually on a has been out to Hawaii I think twice visiting my uncle, and every time she's been out there, there's been a sub kind of going transiting one way through the channel in and out of Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, that's where I saw the one
It's
that yeah.
so she's got some kind of some interesting shots of those of the subs going in and out. I'm like, wow, that's really awesome. Like, all right, so Dallas has made its turn and is approaching. It looks like it is on its current course. It's going to nick the edge of this cluster lance, though.
Yeah, you might want to avoid that.
Yeah, let's see. So I'm curious if these things actually have a passive sensor on it, or are these things just an active? Nope, they are
Uh,
passive.
yeah,
Passive sound. So 40 nautical mile range. I'm wondering what that circle, because that circle doesn't seem like it's. Well, no, I guess that is 40 nautical miles. Okay, so looks like we do have some gaps kind of here to work with. So what we're gonna do, just in case there's any freak, freak water conditions, which may or may not happen in command. I've never actually tested it out. We're gonna, kind of dogleg around this a little bit farther.
hmm the
And we've
you
lost.
want to stay below that ridge line as much as you can as well. So your current course is good, I think.
That's what I'm thinking. We actually have lost contact with our friendly Delta. That's not a comforting thought. It doesn't look like our sea state. Sea state might have changed a little bit, but for the most part, it looks like it's still kind of rainy clouds. Not changing too much. Is the weather at the start randomized, or is that just a static thing that'll actually change over the course?
The start weather is standardized, and then this weather event will happen. Let me just check the event.
Well, I wouldn't want you to give too much away. I was just
Yeah, I just it's been a bit of time here, so I gotta refresh my own memory. Come on, where are we here?
All right. So we're SSGN. Why are you not traveling? You need to go to. In fact, you can probably just go down deep and go to full. What I definitely find interesting here is the fact that we haven't seen that escort sub at all.
Yeah,
That's definitely a curious. So I'm kind of curious what's with all the single unit airfields that are kind of floating around. Yellowknife, CFB Cold Lake. Are these actually used during the scenario for basing for aircraft, or are they just
yeah.
they're things?
Some of them are. Cold Lake. I think at one point I had the idea of having NORAD activate if something went wrong. I never did in the end, but I just left them there for color. There's only a couple dozen units, but many of the other bases are used for just basing of patrol aircraft and some of the Greenpeace and Arctic Council stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I know in my hunting submarine scenario that I did a couple years ago, I had the bright idea of having a completely AI controlled air battle that was outside of the player's even visual range, that
Right.
would determine basically how the if the player got basically Atlantics flying out of France, and if they would get shot down. And it was like I took a look at that and I'm like, why did I do this? Like, this was such a dumb idea. And
Yeah.
so I'm actually updating that scenario to take that out.
Yeah. So the just to follow up on the weather, it's got a 20% chance of changing every hour, which is actually faster than I thought it was going to be. Uh, all right, and yeah, okay, cool.
So
I thought it was every 4 hours.
yep, and still doesn't look like it's changing too much. So we're going to send the Mississippi here to kind of patrol the inactive stations. I think would be a good mission for her. And we have identified the Arctic Purpose. I'm assuming that's probably a Greenpeace boat. Nope, it's a LNG tanker. We should probably give her a wide berth.
Ooh, that would light up the sky, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and make for an I don't want to say interesting, but it'd make for a big boom. That's for sure. They'd be probably
Mm-hmm.
seeing that in Anchorage.
So your Jimmy Carter has got the mission of going to research that ATGU,
Okay.
which yeah, it's a little left of your mouse there now.
Right there, yeah. Normally, I
Yeah,
would actually pick this up if when I actually read the briefing.
sure. So I'm just helping you along here because I sort of jumped in.
No,
But
no, I definitely appreciate it. So we'll get her kind of heading around. Definitely should probably, even if we can't actually do anything with it yet. So is this the one thing that we may destroy is taking out the ATGU?
nope,
Oh, I
nope.
wonder.
Your job on the ATGU is research.
Okay.
So I think you got to be within that trigger box for 4 days.
Which means we have 11 hours to get inside the box.
So the Jimmy Carter has got about 8 randomized spots, and where she randomized for you is probably the farthest away.
Yeah. So did you choose specific spots for where these subs spawn, or did you just kind of give it a zone and it'll randomly go inside of the zone?
Specific spots.
Okay.
Yeah.
I may have to go
And
take a look at that. I've never tried to randomize to a specific. Oh, I guess you could just do a math.random, and the
yeah,
math.random moves it to a location.
that's exactly right.
Oh, okay. So,
And I picked the spots so that they would cause the players some thinking.
well, since we have 11, well, we got 10 hours to actually get to our objective location now. We're going to thread the needle here. It's
Yeah.
probably not going to do us any good, but hey, it can't hurt us. So we're going to go out kind of the sea to avoid the shoals, and then we're going to kind of thread our way here through the SOSUS line.
Yeah. You probably want to pick up speed a bit too.
And I know it's not called Sosis, but that's
That's
essentially
close enough.
that's close enough. So we're gonna go deep as we can, and we're going to go to we don't want to go to full. We're gonna go to cruise, so at least we don't cavitate. Cavitation is at 25 knots here, so we're gonna go thread the needle, even though we're probably not gonna make it there in time. Well, what the hell? It's worth it. And then let's go ahead and turn the Dallas in. I think she'll clear that. Um, she should clear the radius for the listening here. And still haven't seen that SS, that Delta, have not picked up any traces of the others either. Although Seawolf here is running awfully fast to probably hear anything.
So you're once the Dallas does its trek, you're going to want to have the Ohio fairly close to as many cluster lances as you can.
All right, so we'll.
And yeah, it's going to need its SSV there.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to full speed here. Cavitation is actually impossible at our depth, so we should be okay. And then as soon as we enter the zone here, our echo should return to base, or should return to our sub. Hopefully it doesn't take, 36 hours to, refurb it or anything.
She looks like she's got lots of battery left, so you should be fine.
Yeah, but you know about ready times.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Seawolf. I said to go slower. What about going to creep?
She's
Okay.
not taking it, is it?
Looks like it took it now. I think when I changed the course, it changed. So, all right. So our submersible here is still kind of hanging out at the doesn't want to return even though we're under the pack ice.
Have you given her the, yeah, you got to return to base. There it goes.
Yep, and it's just kind of bouncing back and forth there.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting. We'll go ahead and stop until we get closer.
I think the problem is that it's diesel. It's a diesel electric. And I think there's a game issue or a game engine issue with pack ice and diesel electric. Even though, in theory, this thing should be able to play around underneath the ice, no problem.
I would say that's what I would think. I mean, you would think that a UUV would have no problem operating under the ice.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I released
Yeah.
it. I'm like, and it booked it right for the North Pole. And I'm pretty sure that there's not a perfect circle of clear, of no ice right at the pole.
No.
I'm pretty sure that's just a drawing issue.
Yeah.
So let's see. Will it return to base net? Nope. Still gonna. Huh. That's interesting.
You might be able to manually just give it a course to steer it towards the mothership.
Won't let me control it at all. It's stuck there.
Okay.
Saying
All right.
selected unit cannot move to this location. Reason point is under the ice and submarine is not nuclear powered.
Okay.
So this may be a little bit of a game glitch.
Okay.
Have to get that reported on the forum. Pretty sure that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
All right, so Jimmy Carter's going 4 hours to thread the needle. I actually didn't even realize that this had. I guess I've been playing at 15-second intervals, so. I have to say, I really of all the command lives, I think I like the precedence of the premise of this one.
It's certainly a unique scenario. Uh, it was it was kind of difficult to design because you've got to, in my opinion anyway, you've got to give enough things for the player to do to keep them interested. And I think I've done that here, even though some of them seem a little contrived, I think. But there's lots of replayability here because of all the randomness. Um, and yeah, hopefully people like it.
And that's actually what I found with mine is, I like the randomized one because I actually like, I do scenarios that I want to play myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I find that, without that randomness, it's if I know where a unit's going to start, like really, what's the fun in that? So,
Yeah.
I do the randomness more for myself, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So, just out of curiosity, how often do you actually play your own scenarios? Do you just kind of, do it for others and don't ever actually, play it through after your playtesting sessions, or do you play them regularly?
Well, I actually I no, I don't think I play them very often at all. Um, I'm just trying to think the last time I played through one of mine just for the sake of playing through. Um, no, I don't think I have in the last couple of years anyway. It's I guess I enjoy building them more than playing them, which is probably a little strange, but
No, I don't think it's strange at all. Personally, my favorite part of scenario design is the research portion, and trying to find sources for different things.
mm-hmm. Yeah, there's certainly a lot of that. Uh, for the Northern Fury series, it's all about the story. It's a story that I started way back in Harpoon 1.1 in 1989 when I started playing it, and Harpoon couldn't handle what I wanted to do, and in its various iterations, and finally Command is for the most part able to do what I needed to do to tell the story that I got in my head.
Wow, that is a long time.
Yeah, that's Harpoon was the first computer war game I got.
So is
With,
Harpoon 1.1, was that the board game, or was that about 83?
it,
Was that the board game, or was that the first release of the PC version?
yeah, 89, and it was the first release of the computer version.
Wow.
I had played the board game once before, and I played the predecessor to the Harpoon board game, which was called Victory at Sea, which is a World War One version. Um, and yeah, so I got my 8086 computer in 1989, and this is the first game I got for it. Harpoon One was. And it was a great game, except it crashed every 8 or 9 minutes. Um, and the to get a scenario online, you had to dial up to a bulletin board service in New York City, long distance sort of thing. It was definitely Steam age, but it got better.
Well, I can just not imagine having to wait what's that, 20 years?
Pushing 30.
Pushing 30 years to actually, wow, that is a long time. I
I haven't been doing it full time.
well, that is, no, that's true. It was more just like, oh, we got a Greenpeace boat. Looks suspiciously like a Coast Guard cutter to me.
Yeah, so this is the uh, what was that? I'm trying to remember the name of the uh, Greenpeace type group that bought 3 Coast Guard cutters off the U.S. Coast Guard.
Really?
Yeah.
This one's it
Two.
looks like it's called the Sea Shepherd. I don't
Yeah, the Sea
right.
Shepherd. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the guys that they did a video documentary on Discovery where they got into a ramming match with some whalers and things like that.
Oh, were they the ones that were going like toe to toe with the Japanese whalers?
That's the ones, and
Okay.
so they're pretty aggressive.
And the Coast Guard let them. How do you even go around like buying like I don't
I
even know where
was
you would start with something like that. We want to buy a couple of cutters from you.
Yeah, I think they well they removed the weapons,
Well, of
but
course.
and then they were just immediately replaced, I think. But you know they're surplus. They're old.
So when the Navy starts retiring Arleigh Burke class destroyers,
That might
um,
be a different story.
I think I want one as a personal yacht.
Yeah, as long as it's not the one that got hit by the container ship.
Well, or yeah.
I guess the USNI had a report today that the Fitzgerald's going to cost more to repair than the Cole did.
Oh my, yeah. That doesn't actually surprise me. I mean that,
Yeah.
but I think the Fitzgerald's is due to return to service, isn't she? Are they gonna? I mean, I don't imagine they would scrap her.
No, no. She was due for a midlife refit next year, I think. So they're just going to upscale that a bit.
Okay, well that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I mean, you're not just going to scrap billion-dollar warships willy nilly. So I think they do a lot to keep it afloat. I got to say, Arleigh Burks are one of my favorite classes.
Yeah, see, I think we got a little bit of a game bug here. The Voyager's just not wanting to dock. So, well, we've kind of already probably failed the scenario anyway. But you know that it's been a good conversation. So
Yeah, sure.
if I haven't said already, huge thanks for stopping by. I really do appreciate it, especially considering it was kind of like, hey, you're in chat, you want to come on?
Yeah, no problem at all. I'm just not 100% savvy with all these social media and chat programs and things like that. I'm a bit of an old duck, but yeah, I'll give it a try when I'm online.
Yeah,
I don't get on Discord very much at all anymore. So
yeah. See, for me, like, Discord has actually replaced Belugan's chat. May it rest in
yeah,
peace.
yeah,
I really miss that, and Belugan, wherever you're at, we miss you. We we want our new Cappy Canadian back. I'm
yeah. Well,
sure.
I saw him post something today, so I don't think he's too far away.
No, he the war he's working for War Sims now. So, Dimitri and the guys probably have him locked away in a cage somewhere doing something. I have my own suspicions as to what he's doing, but